Hello and welcome for episode 8, I think it is, right? 8? Yes.
Correct, episode 8.
Oh, Nate.
Yes, episode 8 of Heart by the Hearthside. We have Major off to my, I don't know, right?
Right.
I think it's your right. Yeah, I think it's your right.
And then I have Curbs down below
yeah,
me here.
Yeah, Curtis down here.
Some interesting stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about the news going on today. Have some patch notes going for you. We're going to go back into TES pick'ems. I know LCS isn't going around right now, so we're going to fall off of that. I know we didn't do them last week, but there were a lot of things that kind of came up last week with, Corona and COVID and all that fun stuff. So,
Fun stuff.
And again, at the end, always Q&A time for us, so...
Just a note, just in case people don't know, LCS does start back up this weekend, but we're not going to do pick'ems for this weekend just because we're not too sure exactly on how it's going to work. We're just going to let them straighten out how they're doing the online play and how that stuff goes, and as long as everything's back on track like normal and things are going on right in the LCS, we'll resume LCS pick'ems next week so we can race for this finish line for us three.
I don't really think it's a race. I think it's me and then you guys, but that's besides the point.
Here we go.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's really a thing going on right now.
Hearthside is sponsored by Red Bull, by the way.
I'm on camera. My roommate just popped in here. Thought he would bug me. He's going to bug the cats instead.
Works for me.
So, alright, so let's get right into it for, the great toilet paper shortage, it looks like, of 2020. As Major likes to talk to about.
For those of you that don't know, obviously you watch the news somewhere. I'm sure it's affected you somewhere, the whole COVID-19 thing. I hope everyone's okay. I hope we're all doing well. If you have to start wiping your ass with a coffee filter, don't feel disappointed. That's just how life is right now. Make sure you wash your hands. Shit's important. Stay away from your parents and your grandparents. Don't get them sick. Short of that, just make sure you guys are all okay. That's all we really care about here. TES takes a second fiddle to you guys. So make sure you guys are good. We just wanted to make sure we tell you guys that we're all in this together. I know me and Curbs and Corky agree. We're all here. I mean, me and Corky have been quarantined damn near for 2 weeks, it feels like. And it's been 3 days.
My toilet paper is my toilet paper.
Yeah, we're fighting over that shit. But good luck, guys. I hope everything works out for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, just like he said, you guys are the community, so just stay safe. I mean, I know we all think it's funny, lots of memes out there, and I mean, if you can't find comedy in serious things, then you just can't. You have to be able to take some things as a grain of salt, listen to the news, stay safe. I know, actually our president just talked today, so he didn't put us under official quarantine yet, though. So, but with that, let's actually go into 10.6 patch notes. Because that sounds like fun.
Isn't it always so much fun? We just love our patch notes. This is the Wukong patch, right?
Oh
yes,
my God.
Yes, it is. So
I
pop that over.
Wukong for forever. I played against him last night, and apparently I didn't read these patch notes, and it showed because he can reactivate his R. Chad, did you know that? I was playing.
Yeah, he can activate it twice. I heard it knocked you out twice.
I was playing Captain, and I knew he got buffed, and I knew some of the buffs, but I figured, same old Wukong. I solo killed him on my prestigious Katarina before level 6, right? So I hit level 6. I got the gold advantage, the item advantage, got my pack off. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bait out his R, and then I'm gonna R, and he's dead. Baited out his R, and he canceled it in a second in. I'm like, that's weird. So I jump on him, and I R. He R's again, knocks me out of my R, and kills me. And I was so angry that I've permabanned him since. And I made a promise to everybody that was in the Discord call last night that you will not see Wukong in a game with Kirby's.
So it's the new Diana for you. So it's Diana for you.
Until he's in a worse state than he was 3 days ago, I'm talking 30% win rate, you will not see Wukong in a game. Personal promise. Because that's dumpster garbage. But anyways, sorry for the rant.
No, you're fine. I actually have the patch notes for Wukong right up. It's the first of the mid-patch updates for everybody to see.
Nice.
Right about that way. Nope, down. There you go.
We can. They show like the whole entire. These are like the hot fixes that have came in afterwards, so we can.
Yeah, well, it's
Do you
just...
want to go over those, Shane?
Nah, it doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want to do.
The whole Wukong update's further down, so we can just go straight to the channel. Those are
Okay.
like the hot fixes.
You want me to scroll all the way down? Patch highlights. Fill in the blanks. Champions? Do we want to start at the very top with champions or no?
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to start, right?
Alright.
Good old Anivia?
Good old Anivia. Which I've never played. So.
Yeah, she's the Frostbird.
Yes.
The frozen bird.
So they updated. They made it for, I guess, with her passive or whatever. It goes from 2 to 3 seconds. So, I mean, I played against an Anivia last night. I got stomped. So, in my anecdotal, I mean, I don't know. It's still Anivia. Like, I don't think this brings Anivia.
I think it just makes her more consistent. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. And it's a good quality of life type of buff, but I don't think it. We're going to be seeing Anivia all over the place besides Frogging. So. Yeah.
Alright, with Aphelios.
Is this like what 5th patch in a row? Aphelios has got nerfed.
It has to be 5 in a row now. I've lost track.
Came out, he's got fucking nerfed every single patch. Like some of them were just like quality of life type of nerfs, but he's been nerfed every patch. Like,
well, I know he's still at least in low elo when I play on the very rare occasion because now I just got my PS2 working, so I've been literally sitting down here and playing on my PS2, but he was banned for a long time.
He's just he's dominating high elo a lot too. Like I know a lot of challengers and pro teams are still playing him. Like, I mean, looks like they nerfed some of the percentages on his heal, on the 7-round pistol, his Infernum. As far as damage to minions, got nerfed a little bit, and then the Crescendum, the Chakram, the empowered auto attacks.
Does this finally gutter him? Do we think, or you think he's still top tier in pro play like he's been every
He's probably still top tier in pro play. Like this is all, like I think the heal is good that they touched it.
Yeah, the heal's actually the biggest problem I ever had with Aphelios. Like he shouldn't be able to just.
He could go. He could go. Yeah, he could face. Yeah. He could go top and just like do the little spinning animation, and he's just full health. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he shouldn't be able to do that.
Like the heal nerf. I don't think the Infernal nerf. It's just AOE damage to minions. I don't think that's really a big deal. And then the Chakram basic attack and power damage. I think that's the one that's like the real far range with like little boomerangs or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I do like that they nerfed the heal. That'll help a lot, but I still think he's just too good in too many situations as far as high elo goes. Like, it's still the same problem of he's supposed to come out and you have to pick the right balance of 2 guns for every situation to play him optimally, and it really doesn't matter when he goes into a fight. Like, it doesn't matter what 2 guns he has. I think like everything works for him, and I don't think he should be that way. So he's probably still going to be strong, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Going into Darius, it looks like his crippling strike and his apprehend.
Yeah, they're just nerfing him in general. Yeah. Good nerfs, honestly, because Darius does, like, people are going to say, oh, he's just a low elo stomper, but he's actually pretty strong in high elo at the moment, too, because, like, after he pushes you in, he goes and takes Krugs, you know what I mean, or invades you, because his damage does so much damage to minions now. So I actually think this is actually
I wish they would just revert that, just so you do have a little bit more, to balance in his budget as far as his actual kit. Like, I wish they would just get rid of the jungle changes and, you could go from there as far as how to balance him in a solo lane. But, bruises have been pretty strong for a while, so I like these nerfs. I think he's still going to get played. He's still going to bully lanes, but I do like these nerfs. Just trying to hit his mana.
Draven. His Blood Rush, it looks like they increased his movement speed.
I actually like this a lot. I know Tyler 1 played him. He got filled into ADC the other day, and he played him. And I like that because, when you catch I don't know if knows this, but when you catch axes on Draven, your W resets. It's like every time you auto and catch an axe, you can, get that movement speed again, which is really why he's so good at chasing people down. Obviously, he's struggling right now. I don't think this, again, doesn't bring him into 100% pick man worthy, but I do like this.
I think that's a good buff.
Like,
Yeah, makes them viable.
it's 10% across the board. 10 extra percent at all ranks, and with the spammability of it, I do think it helps. In those chase down scenarios when somebody heals or flashes and tries to get away. And I think for Draven mains will be happy.
So
Alright.
Garen nerfs. Okay.
Garen, yep.
I think
That's actually
magic
pretty good.
resist decreased.
Yeah. Magic resist growth and then critical strike ratio on his judgment. All right, I could dig that. I think Garen was less annoying when he built Tank Garen back in the day than he is now with this Triforce PD spin on you and you just die. That's not fun to play against.
I don't like this attack speed Garen that they've brought in.
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for the game. So
yeah, I think they're trying to balance that out, so people might actually want to go more of a bruiser or tank.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do we got? Hecarim next?
Yes. Fear duration increased.
Yes. I like this. I think Hecarim is decent right now, but he's not great. There's a lot of junglers that can outduel him early, and I picked up Hecarim kind of recently, and I played a shitload of them, and I dropped jungle pretty much entirely. But if I ever go back, I do like these. I think that's really nice. It's going from at the shortest, because the way his ult works is the further you cast it away, the longer they're feared. And so, if you do it from melee range, it's still going to be the same at 0.75 seconds. But if you hit up one of those max range ults, it used to be 1.5 seconds, and now it's going to be 2. And that half a second is huge. 2 seconds of being feared is big.
Still don't think this helps him.
I don't think,
at all. Yeah.
I don't think it. I think it definitely doesn't help what he's struggling with as far as the early game clear and actually getting to
the
his
problem with
Triforce.
Hecarim. The problem with Hecarim is you have to basically skip jungle item and go straight into Triforce, which jungle item's so cost efficient, but Triforce takes so long.
Yeah, true. Especially for a Triforce champions, especially in the jungle, it's just so expensive to get to there. That's his main problem. But as far as they put a little bit more power in his team fighting, and I like it. I mean, like I said, I don't think this, like you said, helps him as much as some other buffs could, but I don't think it's bad per se. I like it.
Alright, Kayn. Passive orb gain speed increased later.
And in 13 minutes of the game came up. Okay. So this is basically for bad Kayns, I guess, that don't get a lot of orbs early. So I guess once, 10 minutes hits, he gets a lot more to go on and give him a form. So I guess this buffs bad Kayns, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't really care about this. I guess
who cares?
It's good for low elo.
Yeah.
Short of that, I don't really care that much. Who gives a shit?
Okay.
I'm excited about the next one though.
Yes.
Where's Mario when you need him?
Yeah. Base attack damage growth and mana regen increased, health restore increase, and heal increase. So they definitely up Kindred.
Oh. Yeah,
I just want it to be known that this is a master Wyvern shout out, so we just want that to be known. We miss you. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, he's doing good. I talked to him that today, but yeah. So they added some, base AD growth and some base mana regen, very small amounts. W health restore goes from 32 to 100, scaling to 49 to 100, just kind of buffing W's early game, missing health damage, and then Lamb's Respite actually gets a decent heal buff. At level 1, it gets 50 extra heal. So when the R ends and you get that health back, it goes from 250 to 3, so 75 buff at level 2, and at level 3 it gets 100 buff. That's nice. I still think Kindred's going to struggle early game with all these early game dominant junglers or tank junglers even. But that's nice. At level 3, level 16, having an extra 100 health that could change a team fight. So.
Right.
Still think Kindred's going to struggle, but I think most of these buffs so far are just nice little let's see where they sit after this types of buffs.
Okay. Morgana, base movement increase and shield increased early.
That's actually pretty good. I like this for Morgana support. The same pad, actually.
So what is it? 5 movement speed.
5 movement speed, and then they up
it's
the shield.
This is the reverse of
her shield's still the same early. I mean late. It's different early though, which you don't max shield on support. You know what I mean? So that 20 extra is actually pretty huge because you're not going to put points in shielding until what level 13, 15, somewhere there.
I was gonna say it's I thought it was 11 or 12,
well,
but
it's
at least
nice 'cause, especially with
But you
a
only
lot of-
you only max shield for like certain matchups. Most Morganas do not max shield; they max Q first.
Right.
But
it's nice
yeah, I
Mine
think
was
that's nice
QWE.
actually.
with like these
Yeah.
enchanters who have like high base AP stats and even like your brands and your Vel'Kozes who can actually pop that black shield with 60 damage early and able to get the CC through after they pop it. It's nice because level 1 when you're expecting to be bullied by these enchanters, not level 1 but level 1 black shield. Nice. I like it. Nice little support Morgana buff.
Is this Rise buffs? Like what the hell?
Yes.
What the hell is Riot
Base
doing?
regen growth and damage increase later.
Hold on, I have to actually read these.
So
Why?
his mana.
My first question's why. Keep going.
So from 0.8 to 1, I don't think that's gigantic or anything.
And it's actually his damage increased later. So I mean, it goes on. It's the same at the very beginning, and then it goes up by 10, and then 20.
Right. Riot's trying to
Which-
destroy the EQ meme.
Yeah, but still, you level W last when you play Rise. I'm not the best person to say. Everybody saw me get dumpstered on Rise this week, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's similar to the same fact with Morgana, where it's one of your last things that you actually do. But with Morgana's, they did it early versus Rise, they did it later. So
Rise is always going to be a late game powerhouse, but the problem with Rise is
pointless.
Yeah, you have to be really careful of how you buff him though, because if you even buff him a few percentage points, suddenly he's pick ban in pro play.
But I don't think
you know what I mean.
This doesn't change. The only time you play a lot of Rise, the only time you're using W is in a pick scenario. Like you're never using W.
I don't even use it in team fights. Like game team fights, I don't even use W. Like I'm EQing.
And if you're fucking EWing somebody, like mid game and like it's current like that your team's close by and you just need to stop them, for your team to catch up or for you to kill them, like that extra damage isn't going to matter because if you're hitting them with an EW in a pick scenario, they're probably dead anyways. Like this is
right.
I mean, this is cool, I guess, but this is just absolutely pointless. Like
yeah, that's stupid.
No one presses W on Rise.
All right, Senna time.
The passive AD per soul decreased, and her miss cooldown now scales.
I think this is a nerf to feasting Senna. I think that's just them trying to nerf that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if anybody's played against that. That is absolute dog shit to play against. Yep. It's basically Sonateric.
The fasting Senna, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
But she gets so many souls for not farming.
Yeah, and then she doesn't farm at all, so you're up 100 CS, but then she still does more damage than you and is ahead of you in items. It's just dog shit.
I don't think this is...
Honestly, at this point, Riot just needs to make it so you can only buy one support item a game.
Right.
Yeah, they need to just make it so you can only buy one support item a game. I know people... Yeah, I know they complain about that because they're like, oh, it just interrupts builds and stuff. But anything funnel related is dog shit. Anything this shit bot lane, dog shit. Just get that shit out of the game.
Well, if they could, I feel like they would have already.
Just make it so you can only buy one support item a team.
Right.
All right, Shaco. Clone basic attack damage decreased.
Nerfing AD
okay.
Shaco. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Is Shaco strong and high elo and I don't know? I don't know. I don't watch enough, I guess.
I don't think I've ever actually played a game against Shaco. I was surprised when I seen him.
I feel like Shaco's more annoying to play against than I ever feel like he just hard carries. There's nothing more frustrating than we have him dead to rights and he just invisibles and disappears and then your team chases him through the jungle.
I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, no, I can
see where he'd be I can see where he'd be a problem. Especially your one tricks Pink Ward.
Yeah, I know. There's some pretty good Shaco one tricks that are
Pink Ward and Chase Shaco are consistently challenger. So I guess they're nerfing them too. I don't know.
I don't really know. All right, Soraka, Q rejuvenation, heal increase, movement speed, bonus increase.
They're trying to bring her back from the brink of dumpster fire that they did to her to get her out of top.
Good, because Corki was gonna start playing Soraka, and she was getting good, and now guess what? No Soraka.
So they left the scaling on her Q heal the same, but they upped it by 10 at every level, and then they upped the scaling at all levels by 5% on speed. So that's cool. Good for her.
All right, Twisted Fate.
This is a nice buff.
I know this was planned to come I think at like 10.4 and then 10.5, and then now they had to work extra just because of they wanted to make sure they got the ratios right on each card for W. It looks like they didn't touch the gold card, but
they shouldn't touch the gold card.
Blue and red.
Yeah, the reason why they did this is because honestly, in any team fight, there's no reason to pick anything but gold card as Twisted Fate. Like when you're hit mid game, you already have mana, so you don't give a shit about blue card. Gold card does the same amount of damage or close to the same amount of damage as blue card. And AoE box is so low that honestly, if you're close enough to auto somebody in a team fight as Twisted Fate,
I lost him. Hello?
Yeah, Chad's lagging out. Hello?
I think I lost him. There we go.
Chad, there you are.
That's weird. Me and Corky are on the same internet, so.
Yeah, and that was what happened
last
week.
Last week what?
Last week when I was streaming and everything was just going dumpster fire for Gladiator, and like the whole thing just sucked really bad because my internet just kept being super sketchy and his wasn't.
Okay. Anyways, basically what they're like Chad was saying, in team fights you only pick gold card and you're throwing out Qs or whatever, but they're like you said, once you get all those mana items, like you don't need blue card at all, but they're actually giving you a reason now because they're up in the ratio from 0.5 to 0.9 ability power on blue, and then red cards are up in it from 0.5 to 0.6, which blue card gives you mana restore, red card gives you that AoE, which that's really the only other card you even consider in certain scenarios in team fights throwing, just to like if you have a good chance to auto the backline once everybody blows all their big cooldowns. But I don't know, like this is huge, like given 0.1 ability power just on red card in itself, I think is pretty big. But blue card going from 0.5 to 0.9 is huge. Like
blue card's gonna hurt.
Blue card is going to hurt. Like I think that is great in lane. Like obviously, they're buffing the ratio, so you do need some AP to make it impactful. But like later, like once you get like Lost Chapter or whatever his first item is, and, like you're doing these skirmishes, blue card's gonna hurt. And like late game, blue card is going to hurt. And, I think it definitely gives you that choice of like, all right, I could throw a gold card and get that stun, or I could throw a blue card and hurt. Like, because that's a 0.4 ability power ratio is kind of nutty.
I actually really like this buff. I think this makes TF useful.
Yeah. I'm just worried that we're going to be seeing them everywhere in high elo and possibly like that's a pretty size of like, that's a chunking ability now.
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to see, but I do like these.
Yeah.
Alright, Urgot, he got his slow duration increased and his stun duration increased. Both of them by a quarter of a second.
I think the reasoning for this is because of the fact every single person just maxes the turret. Yeah, the turret or whatever it is on Urgot, and I think they just want to give him more options. Which,
well, I mean,
ever
since they changed it to where it was, at max rank, at W max rank, it's toggleable where you can just keep it on. Like, there's really no reason to not get to that as quick as possible. Like, you could just turn W on and you're just. But I do like this. Have an extra 0.25 seconds on the slow. I know he uses Q a lot. In lane is kind of like his main poke damage or whatever. Or in team fights is like trying to get a pick, and then obviously with his actual engage on the E having another like 0.25 seconds on any type of CC, hard or soft, is a big deal. So I like it. I think this helps Urgot a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind.
He needs some love. Urgot needs some love.
All right, and Vigar. Wow. Base AD, AD growth, and armor increase, base damage.
Small buffs for the small boy. Spelled it SMOL. I love Riot for that. So they gave him. They rounded up
10
his
damage.
They rounded up his AD. Like I hate these. Like I understand why they do it, but like all these like nerfs and buffs where they round up or round down to like the nearest full percent. Like I get why they do it to make it cleaner, but they're pretty useless in my opinion. Like he's getting 0.45 armor. He's getting 0.29 fucking AD, and point fucking 0.75 growth on his AD. So that's pretty useless, but his Q getting a little bit more damage early game. Well, it's 10 at all ranks. So, I mean, that's not going to be super impactful. Like, I think the biggest thing is, like, Your Q obviously is used primarily early game for that poke to get stacks, and the stacks is where your damage is going to come from late game. So I mean, I guess that's cool, but I don't think it's very relevant. Like Vigar's still going to be Vigar.
All right.
I don't. Here comes this fucking monstrosity.
So he doesn't all fit in one. So I guess we'll just work our way down.
Yeah, this is he got his whole kit changed. There's going to be like literally everything changed. So yeah, we'll work our way down.
Holy shnikes, Batman.
So we can kind of skip the base stats. Like they pretty much rounded. Well, they didn't even round, but like they lowered his MR. They lowered his health. They gave him more mana. They gave him more mana growth. They updated his recommended items. Okay. So his passive, they removed his old garbage passive, which was one of the worst of the games. His new passive is like a mini fucking Garen passive. Like he gets health regen. It grants 0.5% of his maximum health per 5 seconds. You go in, you take a trade, you back off like Garen, and you're full health in no time.
That is a really lazy change by Riot, too, in my personal opinion. I hate that. That's such a lazy change.
It's not fun to play against. And
it's not even fun as the Wukong player. Like, ain't nobody want to sit back and just get your health back. It's fucking boring.
But whatever. Like, that is whatever. It's annoying.
It's crushing blow.
So his Q, it got buffed all the way around. It got more. It got a higher ratio, and it went from 0.4 to 0.5, and it's getting like 20-ish per early game, and then it scales at level 5. It's still 130 base, but it has a higher ratio now. He does get scaling bonus range, so where his Q used to have 125 flat, now it scales from 75 to 175. Cast time of the Q scales with Wukong's attack speed. So that's really all that matters. Whenever the Wukong or his decoy deal damage with basic attacks, it takes 0.5 of the cooldown away, and the cooldown got nerfed late game.
Alright,
okay, so that's his Q. His W, they added a 300 range dash, so they added a dash to his clone, his W, which, why the fuck did they do that? I don't know. But he's got a 300 range dash now, can't go over walls. The stealth duration goes from 1.5 to 1 second. His decoy now does not do the AoE, like when it disappeared, it did little AoE. Right.
Nobody gave a shit about that anyway.
But now his decoy can auto attack, and it actually does damage, kind of like a Shaco or something. Like his decoy can do damage. Wukong's decoy now mimics his attacks at ultimate, but deals less damage, so it deals like half damage, scaling to 70% of his damage. So I guess this kind of helps as far as like, I think you still know which one's the decoy, but I guess it kind of helps. Whereas old Wukong, you 100% knew, hey, that's the decoy. Don't stand near it, or it's going to spin and blow up or whatever. But that's all. Yeah, they added a dash to his W, and it can actually do damage now.
All right, and his E.
All right, so buff the damage. They changed the scaling from AD to AP. It's still 0.8, but it scales off AP now. But the base damage is higher. I don't know why they changed it to AP, but they did. They buffed the attack speed that he gets. He gets attack speed when he casts his E, and they buffed it from 4 to 5 seconds, and from 30 scaling to 50 to 40 scaling to 60. So he gets a nice little 5 seconds of a shitload of attack speed after. The cooldown went from 8 flat to 10 down to 8 scaling. The cost went way down, and distance to target post dash 75. So it doesn't, like it used to put him right on top, and now he's 75 units away, which I don't think matters. So going to his R, this is the most, like already, he's gotten some pretty substantial buffs throughout his entire kit, but this is the most broken shit that I've ever played against. Tilted the fucking oblivion out of me last night. So Wukong can now cast his ultimate a second time within 8 seconds. The second cast can also knock up. So the knockup went from 1 to 0.75 seconds. They took it down a little bit. Spin duration went from 4 to 2 seconds. So basically they halved how long he spins for, and they took 0.25 seconds off the knockup, but he can cast it again. He can cancel his spin after 0.5 seconds. So after half a second, he can cancel it and cast it again within 8 seconds. The spinning movement speed is 20%. Damage tick rate got half, so it does damage every 0.25 seconds instead of every half second now, which is broken. Wukong can now cast other abilities to cancel his ultimate, stopping his spin. So yeah, he can ult and use an ability to cancel it, and it knocked you up, and then he can instantly ult again and knock you up again. So while he's spinning, the attack speed duration, so that 5 seconds of a shitload of extra attack speed, when he casts his R, it refreshes. And this is fucking garbage. This is busted. They've got to deal with this because it's busted.
4 to 8% maximum health plus 1.1 total attack damage. That's actually really interesting.
It's actually not fun to play against, Chad.
I haven't played against it yet personally. I haven't played League in 3 days.
Yeah.
Interesting though. I jury's out. I'm not sure yet. I haven't played against it myself. He looks like he's stronger. I think his bruiser build will be better than his assassin build now. Maybe.
Yeah.
I can see
for
that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't get blown up. I think double knockup's actually pretty fucking important though.
So strong.
Yeah.
He can knock up a whole team twice for 0.75 seconds. So
especially with your W too. You know what I mean? Because your
His W has a fucking dash now, and he's fucking
interesting.
So
interesting.
Dashes in invisible, and he can knock up twice in a couple seconds. He's strong. Like, I know you haven't played against him yet. Maybe I'm just a low EO crybaby, but he's very, very fucking strong. And obviously the assassin build was kind of toxic in Cancer, but now that he's a bruiser and he can still do pretty high fucking damages and stay alive, it's strong. I'm not happy with it.
So Xerath buffs.
Yes, Xerath is to round us all out here.
I don't really understand this because it's not like he's going to get played in fucking mid lane. There's too much that counters in mid lane. He's just going to get played bot lane more, and it just ain't no AD carry you want to play against that trash. You know
yeah, I mean that's a decent buff for his W. Like the center damage, center of the W already hurts. So like full combo where you stun him, hit him with the center of the W and a Q actually does a lot of damage. And later on in the game, they buffed his R damage.
300 damage per shot is a lot. That's 4 shots. That's
and they added, which isn't super relevant, 0.2 scaling. So, I mean, that'll be a few extra damage points. But
so
at level
16,
damage, 300 per shot is a lot. Plus plus 66.7% increase from 50% increase of the W in the middle. Like you said, I don't think he's going to be great in mid lane, but this just really buffs support Xerath, where I feel like these mages and AP champions bot lane are already really strong.
So I can play him support, is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah. I think he will be very strong support. I think he will be very strong on support. Especially in low elo. Especially in low elo, because people don't know how to dodge skill shots. Jungle changes, I don't really want to fully sit into this because, I don't care about what Riot's been doing with this.
Matt's brand is getting buffed.
The brand buff actually is disgusting, though, FYI. 420 plays a shit ton of brand jungle, and he makes it work before the buffs.
His passive does 120% damage to mob.
Yeah,
he can clear camps quickly.
A brand coming out of jungle at you and then full comboing you, ulting you is not fun. Runic Echoes is very cost efficient. It's one of the most cost efficient items in the game.
It's so good.
Yeah, so brand with Runic Echoes is absolutely disgusting. This could actually be really strong.
Yeah, he could. That's a lot. Like his passive already does a ton of damage, and now he can AOE clear and single target.
Yeah,
clear.
I think that actually might be a little obnoxious. The Morgana one doesn't really matter. Morgana jungle's been a thing before. People wanted to play it. There's nothing more annoying than Morgana walking out of your bush and CCing you for 15 seconds.
15 years.
Yeah, so that's kind of annoying.
I do think the Shin buffs are deep. That's a lot of extra damage for his Q. I still think he's one of those Warwick that needs a Tiamat super quick to clear quick, but that's a decent amount of damage.
I don't think that makes that a thing. Teemo jungle, I don't think really matters.
Fuck
Teemo. The Yorick, I don't understand why you would ever want to play Yorick in the jungle.
It doesn't make any sense.
Punch him in the top lane.
Fuck his whole strength.
The Zyra one's actually kind of interesting a little bit. And the reason I say it's interesting is not so much for Zyra jungle, but Zyra's leashes, I feel like, are going to be absolutely disgusting.
Because, I don't know, I played a lot of jungle, and I love Zyra leashes because their plants tank for you. Now that her plants do more damage, you could get, pretty quick off that first buff without I don't think you'll take a tick of damage with them doing
Shout out to my favorite son for gifting TES subs in the channel. Shout out to Mr. William Lewis.
William, that's what your
9th one.
Gifted 9. You are insane, Will. You are
my favorite son. I gotta appreciate. We do appreciate you.
we did want to real quick say that we've said this before, but every sub and donation and anything we get here at this channel does get saved up, and we're pulling for future prize pools for the league. So
think
every
they were
donation or
considering in the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
so
talking about it. So it doesn't just go into mine, Corky, or Kirby's pocket. Everything on the TES channel goes into a TES fund that only certain people have access to, and it's going to be used for the league itself. If you want to donate to your personal caster streamers here that you see, you can find us on our own Twitch channel.
Yep.
I'll just take RP points.
She'll take RP points. She will trade feet pick.
Yeah, sure, why not?
If you want to know some prices, save that for Q&A.
All right, so next thing I talk about is funnel mechanics. I really don't know what they're doing to
Just get rid of this shit. Just make it go away.
They're trying. So the unique Monster Hunter, they're 13 less gold and 50% less XP from lane minions, and more than half your farm is from minions. Removed at 14 minutes. Like, okay, I wish they'd just get rid of it totally, but they're trying. So trying to get rid of funnel. Okay.
All right.
The funnel just needs to go away. It doesn't need to be a thing. This is actually interesting. I do want to talk about this a little bit. The Death Stance builds, I don't really give too much of a shit about.
It's so good.
It is really strong, but I don't play top lane, so I don't care. The biggest thing though is the TP buff. It's actually a TP buff and a TP nerf, depending on how you want to look at it. Like early game,
scaling,
your TP being 420 seconds is so fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit long. Like you know how we always say top laners give their first TPs to go back to lane?
Yeah.
Like, do top laners still get their first TPs to go back to lane? You know what I mean? Like, that's how ridiculous this actually is.
And it's the marijuana number, 420.
I think that's a little obnoxious. I think the late game's nice though. Like, I think the 240 seconds is actually really nice.
I like this.
I really do like that.
It's a nerf and a buff in one. I really like this change. Definitely helps out, especially those late games like where TP is macro wise arguably.
And they're giving you home guard basically.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're basically giving you home guard automatically off the TP, which is pretty nice. You know what I mean? That's cool.
I will say though that I know you said you were playing top lane. You're sleeping on the Death Stance change. I actually played Yi yesterday, and I built it on Yi, and it felt so good. Like something like a Graves or something even. Like Death Stance feels really good, and I feel
Isn't it only good for melee? Yeah, it's better for melee.
Is it only for melee?
It's better for melee. 30% for melee, 20% for range. Okay,
yeah.
so obviously recommended items got changed. About time. Like, who actually uses the recommended items? Like, that's meant for new players. Like, I haven't used the recommended builds.
Right.
I have Blitz.
If you get decent at the game, you definitely fucking build.
Yeah, there's Blitz. You know, there's a lot of shit you can use. I don't use recommended builds.
But that's good. Yeah, I do think, making the learning curve better for new players is good. So,
Yeah.
All right, I'm not even going to talk about ARAM balance changes because who gives a shit? Like,
that's pretty much the end of it.
If you play that game mode, there's way funner games to play out there, guys.
Yep.
Like, if you're that addicted to League of Legends, there's other games I could invite you to.
Let's scroll down. Quirky. These aren't out yet. They got pushed back. To scroll down to the skins because I would like to show those. These Dark Star skins.
Trust me,
okay.
I am there.
They're so good. Like Dark Star Malphite, the Prestige Edition is so good. Like, the Tark skins out in the Twitch and Talon.
Like the Lux, the Cosmic
and Dark Cosmic Lux are so good, and Dark Star Mordekaiser is there. They're so good. I love all these skins. I love the Dark Star one.
There is something we didn't talk about that I do want to discuss after you guys get over.
What's the little mouse? Is that gonna be Twitch?
Yeah.
I don't like Twitch, but I like that little mouse. It's just so cute.
Yeah, there's a Twitch Shadowfoot. I love Twitch Shadowfoot. Look at this cute little mouse with
oh my god.
Good skins this patch is the moral.
Right. Well, that's the patch notes.
Yeah. We did not talk about autofill balance.
No,
we did not talk about autofill balance. It's at the very top of the patch notes.
Yeah.
That's actually huge.
So they added autofill parity where they try to, I believe they try to balance if your team has an autofill, the enemy team has to have an autofill. Correct?
Yeah, I think that's huge. There was legit games right now where you would have 2 autofilled players and the enemy team would have 0.
And that's a guaranteed loss.
Yeah, and 90% of the time that's a guaranteed L because your autofill player is going to be in the jungle, and then your second autofill player is either going to be top lane, he's going to eat your face off, or he's going to play support, and he's not going to know how to play support. Which, that sucks. Like, that's shitty. I don't think autofill should be a thing at all. Me and Curbs have argued about this for hours on hours, so we're not going to argue about it tonight.
No, we're not.
But this is a better change. You know what I mean? Like, if I do think they need to change it so, like, if I get an autofill jungler, you get an autofill jungler. But I get it, Q times, I get it.
Right.
But getting an
Hey,
autofill
in
player
World
on
of
each team is
Warcraft,
important.
we had to wait. You needed a healer, you had to wait for a damn healer. You needed a tank, you wait for a damn tank. You need
I
a jungler, you
personally
wait for
agree
a
with
damn
you.
jungler.
I
I
don't
personally
agree.
agree with you, and I do agree with Twitch chat right now. In low elo, there should be more than enough players. Autofill should not be a thing. That's my personal preference, but me and Curbs will sit here and argue about it for legitimately
So
3 fucking hours.
talk about it.
But the point is, this is a good change. I do think that it's still bullshit. If you get the autofill top laner that just plays a tank, and I get the autofill jungler that has no idea how to play the goddamn game, you know what I mean? That's still not fair any way you cut it, but, what are you going to do?
Alrighty. So, now that that's over with, let us continue on to our pick'ems, because I know we want to do some Q&A towards the end, and I have something I'm going to be posting and I want to make a small announcement about, nothing big, so I'll do that after pick'ems before Q&A.
Let's do these pick'ems. Give them to us, Corky. Give them to us.
So we're only doing TESs like we said earlier today, just because LCS, we're not sure what's going on. Curbs did say that they're going to play next weekend, but you never know.
They're supposed to start tomorrow. We're not 100% sure how it's going to work. So, yeah, we're not messing with, like you said, we're not messing with that this week.
We're going to do 3 games per league this week to make up for LCS, which, by the way, comes back this weekend online, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway. Syndicate versus NTF.
Oh, yeah, Gold League.
Yeah.
Gold League, yeah,
Syndicate
sorry, starting with Gladiator. Sorry,
I got NTF.
Syndicate won last week, right?
They did win last week. They played Mythical Madness. That's not saying much.
Right.
Syndicate looks better. Mythical Madness does not look good at all. NTF still looks like championship caliber team. Top 4, I would say they are. Personal preference.
Did NTF was it NTF versus UC last week with me?
Yes, and NTF beat UC.
Yes, I will take NTF.
NTF still looks like a playoff caliber, championship caliber team.
Yeah,
so I'll
take NTF.
I'm gonna go with Syndicate.
Yeah,
you think Syndicate upsets?
Them.
I think Syndicate. Yep, because I think Syndicate's Gold League always wins when their Plat team loses, and I think Syndicate's Plat team's gonna lose this week. A spoiler alert, but so I gotta go. It's always inverse. So I'm going with Syndicate's Gold League.
Okay, next one.
UC versus NGC.
I'm gonna go with UC. I believe in Sammy.
I think UC bounces back this week. They really struggled last week. Hopefully, they get figured out what's going on with what's going on there.
I know they're having some ADC
issues. They need to figure out what's going on bot lane. Dempsey's still doing his best. Dempsey, if you're listening to this, man, I love you. Don't pick Vladimir again. You my boy, though.
We actually talked about that, too. I was like, I was just curious. What was kind of going through your head?
Demandis is so good, man.
Yeah, Demandis is still the best mid laner in the league, in my personal opinion. Dempsey's still really good, too.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to pick UC as well. I'm hoping Dempsey pops back. I'll have to yell at him if he doesn't.
I do. I think UC wins. Okay, so we all take UC this week. Okay, next.
NFG versus SKG.
This is another interesting game. SKG looks. SKG's a weird team because they lost Notes, and Notes had his flaws, but I think he was a big vocal point for the team. As we all know, Notes is a very vocal individual.
Yes, he is.
And NGC didn't. I mean, NFG lost last week, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
It was their first loss. Yeah, I want to say they lost last week to. I don't remember who it was. But I think it was Interlogic.
I can pop it up, maybe.
Yeah, I'll look real quick. I'm pretty sure they lost.
Somebody said Interlogic stomped. I don't know.
They did not have their starting mid laner, which obviously matters. People will disagree, but that does matter. Yeah, Interlogic stomped them.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Interlogic's the second best team in the league. That could be true. I will pick NFG to beat Scrub Kings Gaming. I hope Scrub Kings proves me wrong. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Curbs?
Oh, I went first. I said NFG.
NFC too? What do you got, Corky?
I'll take NFG. Why not?
Yeah. I think that's we all agreed on everything, but
I took Syndicate.
yeah.
Okay. Going for our Olympian League, we have Baka versus Diddley.
Baka all day long.
Yeah, I don't even think
All
that's
day
an
long.
argument. I love
All day
Vaulting
long.
to death, but Duke Diddley Dongers just has no idea what the fuck they're trying to do right now. My boys, I love you guys. Figure it out. My boys, I appreciate you're sticking it through, and I really appreciate that. But hopefully they'll figure it out. You know what I mean? They my boys, but they're doing Duke Diddley nothing. All right, next game.
Next, Syndicate versus SBD.
SBD.
You already know who Curbs is taking.
But can I explain? Well, Syndicate is struggling with roster changes due to the lot of things outside of their control here. They
Mythical Madness. Mythical Madness is the DDD of Gold League. Thanks, though.
But yeah, Syndicate's struggling just because of we've had some gigantic changes in a lot of people's daily lives with the coronavirus, and they struggled last week. I casted that game. They obviously had some issues with Zerobi is not on the team anymore. Earl King is not playing right now. They had some support issues where Perfect Build looked amazing in game 1. Game 2 didn't go so great, so he actually subbed himself out for game 3 where Foss played, and Foss just doesn't. I just don't think he's played with the team enough. They didn't look that great in game 3. They lost. I think they're definitely going to be struggling with all these roster changes. Losing Zerobi is huge, and losing last week was just nuts. Like the Discord went nuts for a while. SBD's looking okay. I think SBD takes them down. I think Syndicate's going to struggle for the rest of the season, man. Like these very big like Earl was a big part. Like obviously they still have Latona. Latona's a monster. Gall is still a monster, but Earl King first leaving. He was such a good mid laner. Now Zerobi being gone, like Flan played great. Especially his very first game, he popped off him and Perfect in the bot lane. But I just don't see how they bounce back off a loss.
I'll take this one too. I have picked Syndicate to win every game this year, right? Syndicate has not left my number 1 ranking all season for Plat League until now. Perfect, Faust, some of my best friends. You know what I mean? Some of my best friends in the Discord by far. And they'll say they have the same people, but legitimately, Syndicate changes their lineup every other week, and sooner or later, it's going to bite you in the ass. That's just how it works. Like teams who stick together throughout the year, they will naturally get better. You know what I mean? And it's not Zerobi leaving that I'm worried about. Like I think Flan will be fine. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
I think Flan will be fine. My big question right now, though, is who the hell is playing support and who the hell's mid lane?
Right.
Like, that's the question.
Two very big roles.
First you have Dogster, then you have Perfect, then Perfect gets pulled mid-series by Foss for Foss to play just for them to lose?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I get it. Like, Syndicate seems like there's too many Chiefs, not enough Indians going on right now on the Plat team. Like, one person needs to decide, hey, this is the roster, and this is what we're doing. And it's not even just the support. Like, who's playing mid lane? Like, who's the mid laner now? Like, Latona's top, Gal's jungle. Is it Gal moves top, Latona moves mid, Toast moves jungle? Like, all of this stuff, swapping it all the time really
Latona
hurts.
mid.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's Latona mid, Toast thing, which doesn't make any fucking sense either because Latona's the best top laner in the league. And you're shifting him to mid. Like, I'm sure he'll do fine still, but it's like, you had the best top laner in the league.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. I love Syndicate. I think they're struggling from, like I said, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians going on. I think Perfect getting pulled mid-game is just ridiculous. Yeah, I think that was ridiculous, and that's fine, you know what I mean, what's going on there. But that's something they need to figure out.
Latona, Toast, Gall, Flan, Dogster.
It's just, yeah.
Like, then Toast should have never been benched in the first place. You know what I mean? If that's long story short, like benching him in the first place, you're just losing. You just lost all that time together.
So you just chose SBD then?
I'm going to take SBD this weekend.
I'm going to do Syndicate.
I never thought I would say it.
Yep. Well, I'm going to do Syndicate. So.
Okay.
RKZ versus Leaf Elites.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. It's gonna be a good game.
Did you die, Chat Major?
I think that's a really good game. I'm really intrigued to see who RKZ actually plays, like what lineup they're playing, because they also seem to have the Syndicate issue that I like to say, where they just swap lineups. Whereas like SBD's been running the same lineup for weeks now. You know what I mean? Leaf Elites have been running the same lineup for weeks now. You know what I mean? So personally, I'm going to take Leaf Elites. I think it goes 2-1. I still think our Dubstress is the most important single player on a team.
Right.
But I think Leaf Elites alone just has too much power for one person to go through. You know what I mean?
Alright. I'll take Leaf Elites too, because that's what people Zero Domain is highlighting up for me. So I'll take Zero Domains.
I'm gonna trust in Dubstress this week. I think so.
You think I trust Dubstress to pop off this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with RKZ.
RKZ? Okay. All right, easy enough.
All right. All right.
R-Dub on Syndicate would be disgusting, but seeing as R-Dub's the captain of RKZ, I know that would
R-Dub on any team, but DDD would be disgusting.
Yeah, R-Dub's just the best AD carry in the league, but that's besides the point.
R-Dub's
keep going though. Next,
best players
what's
next? That's it. Those were the 3 Olympians. We did 3 pick'ems, TES pick'ems. I know I seen something earlier, a person's question that I will try to remember. I don't remember who said it, but I do remember the question. So when we get to Q&A, we'll get to that. I do have a small quick announcement because of this whole quarantine and everything. I've had a little bit of time to do some stuff. And turns out that we just got, because we hit so much time or whatever, and so many people fudge, whatever it is. Subscribers. Either way, we get 2 free emotes, it looks like, and so I'm going to run a small poll later for you guys to choose what you want as the Twitch emotes. Now, it can be the baby dongs, if you really want. It can be curbs. It can be
the curbs 5-hit emote, please. The curbs 5-hit emote from Discord.
And I already talked to Pop Tart. She says we could do something special too if you have something unique. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have probably 4 or 5 choices, and then one of the choices are going to be other. And if you have an idea for something else, just send me a DM, and we will definitely get it taken care of. But you will see it come tonight. I'm making a poll. I just wanted to get through the poll for Gladiator that 420 put up for us to see who we would be streaming this week. So you guys will see that come soon tonight too. So that's just my small mini announcement, quote unquote. I am actually looking to run, because I would like to try to get us partner before the end of the year. So I am looking at possibly doing a few contests and stuff too, where RP points would be awarded. So that's just another little shout out.
RP hype.
Partnered would be sick, but that's 75 average viewers.
Yeah, it is, and we're at 30 or 35, I think, right now.
Average.
Average. We said be about 30, I think.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
Yep. So I figured if we can kind of push it. I know we have how many people in our Discord right now?
300 plus.
Okay. There's also some other things I'm looking into too for the people who view us regularly. There is a way where I can actually set up like a mini store and start making some emotes and mini merchandise, it looks like, too. So I am looking into that as well. Like I said, I had a ton of free time on my hand, and I've been looking at a lot of different things. So keep up with, keep up to date with me. If you have any ideas, shoot me a message. Don't be scared because I'm a girl. You can jump into my DMs. I don't care.
Hey, that's a SBD. That's an invite. At least she invites you. Pop Tart doesn't. Move on from Pop Tart. Time to jump in Corky's DMs.
Alright.
Corky looking kind of cute. Here we go. Slide in the DMs, boys.
Alright, so that was my mini announcement. From here, we're going to actually go into Q&A time. I know one of the questions I saw earlier was everybody wanted to know, a couple people actually asked about the admins game coming up and if they think they're going to win against...
I skipped this game. I got to pick the 3 games. I pick what games we do the pick'ems for. Obviously, the reason I pick them is because obviously I can't really pick these games. The reason why is because I play for the admin team, and obviously I'm never gonna pick against my guys. Like I played real sports through high school. You know what I mean? A lot of you probably did too. And like it doesn't matter if you're going against the undefeated team. You always believe in your guys. So that's why I don't personally pick them. If you want Curbs and Corky to pick the game, that's fine, but that's why I don't.
Yeah. I don't even know who you're playing against now next week coming up.
Interlogic.
Interlogic?
Extremely good team. Yep, they're very good.
Alright, just bend over. That's all I'm going to say. Bend over. Use a little lube. Yeah. There you go.
Spit on it.
I personally, like I said, we'll do power rankings next week after, I try to do them every 2 to 3 weeks.
Cares about his power ranking.
Yeah.
They love the power rankings, but we'll do that after like 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be a lot of changes, and I'll know more about Interlogic after I play them. But I believe in my guys. You know what I mean? Me and Defalu are pretty good friends. Me and Monkey are friends. You know what I mean? I'm excited. It'll be a good time.
Wish I had friends.
Alright, so pop your questions in there. If it's meant for all of us, don't put, you can tag who it's actually for.
Just add Titan Esports. If it's one of us, just add whoever it is.
Yeah. I know up here as a fan of Interlogic, is the roster change going to be a good versus team like BPS or NTF since they beat NFG?
What was the question?
Do I think the new Interlogic roster can compete with the top tier teams in the league? I won't know this answer until next week. I won't know this until next week. Just because I played them. I think the roster looks good. They beat NFG. NFG didn't have their starting mid laner. You know what I mean? That's pretty big. So, and I know maybe that's just an excuse. But as of right now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how good they are. So I can't answer that question. I apologize.
Okay.
Do we have to do the best on LE every single week?
Nope. I'm not even down there yet. Well, Dogster wants to know what real life sports are.
Real life sports. I played football. I know Kirby's played basketball, if I remember correctly, right, Curbs?
I played basketball. I played like 13 years of baseball. I played like 6 years of basketball and like 4 years of soccer.
All right, I want you to come up here, and you're on our softball team.
Yep, you're sold. Come move up here. You can stay just for the softball season.
I played AAU baseball. I played a lot of baseball.
All right. Going further at Kirby, do you think it'll be 2-0 or 2-1 SBD versus Syndicate?
I would not be surprised if it was a 2-0, but I'll probably logically have to say 2-1. I still think Latona's a monster. Like, Latona can by himself hard carry a game. So
even Latona mid lane?
Probably. Latona's fucking good, man.
Latona's really good.
I do think, I wouldn't be surprised if SBD 2-0's them, but I do think Syndicate will pull a game off of them. I think it'll go to game 3.
All right, and Curbs, who do you think the best player on SBD is?
I don't like these questions. I don't want to answer this question. I don't like these
Will
questions.
you kiss me behind the alcove? Real question, what team is being streamed? What was decided
the Plat
on that?
game, I usually make the decisions on what games get streamed. I believe the Gladiator game was decided through poll is what we decided to do this week.
And I think it ended up being It was Syndicate versus NTF. One.
Yep, Syndicate versus NTF won barely, so that will be the Gladiator. Plat League will be RKZ versus Leaf Elites this week. I think that makes the most sense.
I think that's the best.
Baka and Syndicate were both streamed last week, so it makes the most sense. We'll do RKZ
I like
Leaf
that.
Elites.
I think it'll be. I think it's the best game of the week too. I think it'll be the most.
I think it's the most close game of the week for sure.
I am excited to cast that series.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, somewhat new predictions for championship match. That's what we're doing next week, aren't we? For your, isn't that like more of your power ranking styles? For Jogster's question, I'm trying to go in order because I see.
Of what? What was the question?
Halfway through the season now, new predictions for championship matchups for both leagues.
Like, who do you think is going to be in the finals of both leagues, basically?
I think we'll wait for that for power rankings next week because the teams that are top 2 are the people I think are going to be in finals. So I think we'll do that next weekend.
Yep, sounds good.
Senpei Morgan, how is Julian the best on our team? I'm just going to keep going because I'm not even sure. MIM versus
questions in that.
Mythic versus admins. Who wins?
I can't answer this question because I play for the team, but I do know Mythical Madness did get perfect gamed the other day. The admins have not done that. We even played Baka Preschool and did not get perfect gamed. So I don't So unless you suddenly think Syndicate Gold Team is better than Baka Preschool, which you might if you're smoking crack, that's reasonable. I wouldn't judge you.
Reasonable.
But the point is that the admins have never been perfect gamed. We may struggle, but we're not getting perfect. We're not getting perfect game by the best team in the league, let alone, bottom half of the league.
Let's see here. Titan Esports, we have a 1v1 call after this major. Never mind. That's for you. Senpei wants you. RKZ versus Leaf Elites is what we're gonna do. Let's go. Who else? Questions. What? Senpei. Please answer. Why is he the best? Okay. Okasha wants to know who is the worst player in TES, in Gold, and in Plat Leagues.
I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
See, you guys want the worst.
Like, you guys have to fucking...
It's a measuring contest out here.
Like, those are legitimately just flame questions.
Yeah.
Like,
Those
I'm
are
not
bad
gonna
questions.
flame people. Like,
Every
Faust answered those questions last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he was on here, what he thought was the worst player in Plat League.
I'm not going to keep answering the...
And the best player in Plat League. Faust did it last week.
Which is up, by the way, on YouTube, so you can go back and watch that if you want. Yes, flaming is fun, but it's not really what all about for this one.
It's not really what we do here for Hearthside. It's not really our thing.
We are not Slinky.
Yeah, we are not Slinky.
Slinky's not here anymore.
But we could say I'm the worst in Gold League. I'm okay with that.
I can say I'm the best in Iron.
Damn straight. But alright, I think that was a pretty good night. So everybody knows we are working on a set schedule for Hearthside. We'll know later this week. It should be, and then it will be set from now on. Ideally, is the thought process between myself, Curbs, and Corky, if I remember correctly. If I'm right, guys.
What?
That's the plan, so it's a little easier for all of you guys.
What? Let's send a set date, or...
Yeah, we'll have a set date for people.
Yeah. Set day and time.
So it doesn't keep jumping around, because that has to be frustrating for viewership. Next week will be power rankings, super important. We'll be back for LCS Pick'ems. We'll talk about online play. Hopefully Kirby's will find toilet paper somewhere. We're really pulling for him. You know what I mean? Like,
we're not having here yet.
We definitely are, but that's besides the point. Went to the store last night, not one piece on a shelf. Thank God we still have toilet paper in the house, but man, oh man, let me tell you.
Crazy. That's crazy. Good luck to everybody struggling with that.
Well, thank goodness it's not us at all. I got that. Alright, and hopefully next week too will be Major's blooper reel.
Oh yeah, because Corky's working on that.
Yes,
yeah.
Unfortunately it's a week behind because I was in San Diego for a week, so I didn't have as much time there. But I am hoping to have it up by next week. I got to get some of that video.
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be so good.
And then Major gets to choose who he wants next. Maybe
Oh, I
Curbs.
cannot wait for that.
But you can't. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't. First off, I don't
Playing
even
the
play in
league.
the league. Second off, I don't have blooper wheels. I don't make bad plays. So.
All I gotta say is you could find enough blooper reels on Major just from the fucking Rise game, but that's besides the point. Don't get me started.
Just
Nice.
insert the game, like just the VOD, the full VOD of the game is his blooper reel. Or your Kiana game 2 weeks ago. Just insert the VOD.
If anybody
Yeah.
has that VOD, let me know. I would love
Yeah,
it because I only
please
have, I
don't
think,
let
one or
her know.
two. So if anybody has VODs
Please
on
don't
him,
let her know.
so
Kong is.
I don't.
It's already Friday. I was letting my directors handle it. They have not made an answer yet. I'm going to say he most likely will not be enabled.
We pretty much never do reworks or new champs first week, right? I don't see why this one.
I have last week's Pop Tart. So
We never let reworks go through first week. I mean, Risen isn't playing him. He's banned for Risen. I don't know.
I don't know. They'll make an announcement hopefully tonight, maybe. If not, first thing tomorrow. Can we say that?
I will get an answer out first thing tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to say most likely not. I will have an exact answer tomorrow. If I do not hear from the directors, I will just make a decision.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
wouldn't plan on it.
all right, Pop Tart. Well, if you have that, I would love it. And then that way I can start chopping it up. So,
But,
all right.
yeah, good episode, everybody. As always, Kristen and Chad, nice to be here with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
This lovely Friday night.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out to come see us.
All right. Well, everybody stay safe. Have a good one. Like I said, holler if you need me. I'm on. I don't always sit in Discord, but I have it on my phone, so I should answer you within the day. So.
All right, sounds good, everybody. We love you so much. Don't forget, Nani, I went to church, and Shasta buns. All right. Love you all. Have a good night.